Narrowboat, Narrowboat, Narrowboatwill.
Right, so who are we watching? Narrowboat. Oh, I can't stand him. Let me get up and turn it over. 7:50 service time. 250 hours I've done. So today, this service I'm going to do oil and filter, gearbox. I'm going to drain the wasp filter. I'm not going to change that fuel filter today, and a new air filter, and check everything over as usual. You know what I'm like, especially because after that canal, that Pocklington canal, I was forward and reversing really hard for days and days. So I'm going to really check that to make sure it's tight. Poor thing, been through the mill, eh? Right, let's crack on. I'm not going to go on about this service because I've done quite a few filter services now. Sorry, engine services. What I'm going to do is put the oil into this big container and put the waste oil into these containers. At Selby, there's a tip across the road from the canal, so I'm going to take it oil waste to the tip. Perfect. So I'm heading back there tomorrow. Right, so after about 10 minutes, we've got the oil out. I've got the filter off. So I'm going to mark up the filters like I normally do. This was last done on the 29th for the 12th 21. So that was 6 months ago. So basically you're servicing it twice a year, aren't you, almost? Right, let's put the oil in and the filter on. One thing I will say, when you take the filter off, you must make sure that seal comes off with it, because sometimes they stay on. Then you put your new filter on and then you find out you've got two seals on the engine and it starts to leak. So it's only hand tight anyway. That it's still hard to get off. It's strange. I've just got one of these marker pens, correction pen, and I just put today's date on it, 3rd of the 6th 22. So I know in future, you know. Also, I just put a smear of oil around that seal as well, just to help it. If you don't put a bit of oil on it, the seal can scrunch up because it's too dry, and you'll get a leak on that. All right, you can see I've got Beta Marine SAE 1540. What does 1540 mean? Well, 15 is a winter and 40 is when it's hot. So it takes 15 seconds when it's hot to go down a certain gradient for the viscosity. It takes 40 seconds when it's cold. So when the engine's cold, it'll take 40 seconds to get around your engine. When it's hot, it'll take 15 seconds. So what they do in the oil test at a certain angle, they used to anyway, probably do it through tubes now. They'll do a viscosity test. They'll put a bit of oil, it'll run down a piece of glass. So they used to do it at 40 seconds when it's cold, and it'll run down when it's 15 seconds when it's hot. So there's your 1540. It's interesting, I know it is. Just tighten that up slightly by undoing that bolt, that nut there, look. See that one? Just to pull it up a little fraction to tighten that up. Paint's starting to wear a bit now, look. There, look. Bits, you know. It's taking a lot of stick, this engine. Right, the oil's topped up. I've changed that. I've just tightened that belt up. I just told you. Keeps repeating myself. Nice clean oil in there now. Nice clean oil. Just below that marker there. Because you don't want it just above. You're better off just below, because when that oil expands, when it's hot, you'll have too much oil in then. So we always do it just a little bit below. Right, now it's this wasp filter I want to look at, because last time I cleaned it out it was blocked. So I'm just curious as what it's like this time. So first I need to turn the diesel off, and it's under there somewhere. Diesel tap, where is it? Oh, it's up there. Anyway, let's turn it off. Look at that, I just managed to squeeze the oil into that one container. These are usually 5 litres to there, aren't they? But there's all an extra litre and a half probably to get squeezed in there. So I'll take that to the tip when I get to Selby. along with my oil filter as well. Lovely. The diesel lever, all narrowboats have got them. You've got an inlet down the bottom, and you've got an in and an out, and that's the out to the fuel filter. So I've turned that off, ready for the wasp. That's not a good sign again. I've just taken the butterfly clip off the bottom, the drain, nothing's come out, nothing at all. So might be a vacuum on there. I'm just going to undo this bleed one and just see what happens then. There we go. I've taken the bleed screw out and it's come straight out, so it's not completely blocked, and the fuel looks pretty clean. All the work I've done to that fuel tank, it should be. Well, that is pretty good, apart from dropping a twig in there. Yes, it's a little bit of detritus in there, but that's compared to my last one. If I can find a picture for you of the last time I changed this, it was absolutely full to the brim with junk. So this time I'm very pleased. Yeah, a little bit. Any tank you're going to get some detritus. Even in your car you'll get some of that. That's why they put filters on, because you never know when you're filling up what their tank's like. You could clean all this out and go to the fuel station. He's never cleaned it out in 20 years and you get all his stuff, you know, all the gunk in his tank. So you just never know. What I do is just get a little brush, and using that diesel there, I'll just give it a clean, give it a wash out in that diesel. I'll throw the diesel into a container, take it to the tip, and I'll wash that out, and I'll wash the bowl out, and I'll put it back together. There you go. It's like new again. It's cleaned out. I've cleaned the bowl out. So that's much better now. Clean that out, and see the old diesel in there. So what worries me about these is these tend to block up if you don't clean them out regularly. You won't feel it on the canals. When you get onto a river at high revs, when you're demanding more fuel, this will get blocked, and this is where your problems come in. This is what I was worried about, but that's perfectly fine. I probably would have gone miles and miles without any problems, but I've got a bit of cleaning there to do. A bit more cleaning on that. But you see the point, can't you? Sometimes these seals, they won't sit inside the recess inside the filter housing, so I just put 4 blobs of grease on just to hold it in there, you know. Top tip. I've left the bleed screw off here. I'm just going to put it on loosely, and then I'm going to put it in loose, and then turn the fuel on, and when it fills up, get your screw ready, and then it'll just drip out a little bit. It'll gush out. One of those. But don't ever get any diesel on your engine mount. It's absolutely imperative. No oil and no diesel on those engine mounts, because it just destroys the rubber. Within 12 months they'll be gone. Alright, another top tip. I'm full of them. Waiting now for that fuel to come through and fill up. I can hear it. I can hear it going. There you go. See that? It comes through then. And that's hopefully bled through. And it won't be any here in this system here, because that'll be fuel in it still. So fingers crossed it'll be alright. I'm just going to run it up to see if it leaks or if it starts alright. You never know, do you? I always get that. Might get an airlock in it or something. Next thing I'm going to do is the gearbox oil. 18mm. I've got a new syringe. I've got a new syringe from the car boot. So I'll just draw out 500ml out of that at 50ml intervals. And then just put back what I take out. Tighten that up as well, look. See that? Lot better, isn't it? Seems alright. Right, I've taken out just over half a litre, 500 ml. So that's what's going back in. There you go, nice clean ATF going back in there, half a litre, Bob's Tuncle. Last but not least, that's what I did before I went onto the Ouse. I changed it to that clean bit there. You can see it's going straight in there, can't you? It's not searching around, it's searching around a bit, but not. I've already done it there, I've done it there, I've done it there, so it's time for a change. I've done it 3 times now, time for a new one. I'm just going to see it in there. I'm just going to wipe it inside there as well, just to get the detritus out, and then I'll put the new one, the new shiny one, back in. Lovely. I've just written on there, look, replaced 3rd of the 6/22, and I cleaned it the last time, so I put cleaned on there. It's so handy to have that, just put that on there to remind yourself, and I'll also write it on there, you know. Oh, why don't you keep a service book? Because I ain't got one and I'll bloody lose it. It's just, you just see it visually, can't you? So I'll make a note of today's service. Because I'm going back onto the tidal Ouse, and that is bloody dangerous, I need to run this engine for a good, I need to take it for a run first. You don't want to service it then go onto a big river. You need to run it for a bit, just to make sure there's no leaks, there's no hiccups, no airlocks, everything's tight. So I'm going to check the engine mounts, prop couplings, I'm obsessed with those, you know I am, alternator, bolts and all that. Anything I can check, I'm just going to check it. I'm going to grease the cables as well. You can also grease those, that just comes off with an Allen key underneath. There's a little Allen grub screw, that pulls off, the whole thing pulls off, and you can spray it behind there. And I can also grease the cables. So there you are, another top tip. Oh, I'm throwing them at you today. One of those nuts was loose. Now the next thing to check is your engine mounts. You've got 2 nuts on these engine mounts. You've got one here and one underneath, sneaking underneath. It's the underneath ones that usually come loose. These don't usually move. It's the underneath ones you have to check. And if they've all come loose, then you have to recheck your engine alignment, you know. I've got to check those next. There we go. Found the alternator bolt was a bit loose. Tighten that belt up, change the oil filter, clean the wasp filter out, change the gearbox oil. One of the bolts were loose on the prop shaft, so finish the grease off these cables and that's it. I'm not going to grease that because I greased that not long back. Bottom of the cable was a bit of waterproof grease on it, and then that's it. Thank you and good night. Remember the last vlog I told you I was sitting there a lot watching the reenactment through binoculars. Like some pervert, reenactment pervert, watching that reenactment. It's very, very windy. I can't talk on the film. It's just ridiculous. What am I doing, eh? What is going on? I think I spent a couple of days and a night here, so this is I've got to get down to, step straight from there onto the bank. It's perfect height. There's very little flow. It's absolutely beautiful. I've got to get going. I've got to go down to meet Steve. I booked the lock. I think, what time is it? I think it's 11 o'clock. I'm a bit late. Opposite Wrestle Castle. Oh, I can't get better than that, can it? Come on, let's go. Let's go down to that lock. Got to try and turn around somewhere. I think there's a little inlet just there. I'll try and go in there. There's a little inlet there, look. Try and get in there. Ram the front end in. Yeah, should be alright. Ooh, blimey. Oh dear. Around we go. Around we go. I'm hoping that my boat's not too wide for this river. Come on! It's not going very well. Come on. Get him round. Get him round. a bit now. Oh shit. One's pushed me over, look, I can't get off it. Oh bloody. Can't get off it. Come on, it's a great turn as well. Oh, a tiny bit of wind. There we go, we're alright, come on. Once you get a bit of speed, you're alright, because your bow starts to make cuts the water and you can steer then. Oh, come on. Still going in. Heading down to the lock to go back on the filthy Ouse. Oh, there's wind coming in there. Filthy Ouse. And of course I'm always nervous going on that river, you know, because it's bloody. You break down on here, you're fine. You break down on there, just service the engine. I just checked for any leaks and it seems alright. Cleaned out the fuel filter, new air filter, so it should be even better, to be honest. So let's get back into that amazing lock, back up to Selby. Rushing now, I was further away than what I thought from the lock. Oh, come on, Bo. Doing 2,000 RPM to get to there on time. Just phone me. Oh, sorry, Steve. Look at me giving it some look, eh? Breakneck speed, 2,000 RPM. Come on, baby, we can do it. I've got 5 minutes to get to the lock. Woohoo! Come on! It's just where those towers are. Come on, baby. No, it's 10:45. I should be at the lock now. Bloody hell! Totally misjudged that. Totally misjudged it. I'm only 5 minutes away, or 10 minutes. Trouble is, you've got to get that tide, haven't you, right on time. What a plonker. I thought I was a lot closer than this. It's 10:51 now, I'm nearly there. Another 5 minutes. I hate being late, I really do. Totally misjudged that. I was taking my time at the start of that journey too much. You can see the lock there. Well, that's like miles in the narrowboat, isn't it? You know, it's like an hour. Come on, baby! Almost back at the pontoon now. Come on. It's around the corner. Oh, the pontoon's full, look. There we go. We're getting there, into there, look. There we go. Uncle Steve's waiting. There we go, these beautiful gates. They're a flood defence and they stop the salt water going into the Derwent. Goodbye, my beautiful Derwent. Goodbye. 40mm of steel there, wow. And then they lock. They lock in a minute. And they lock together like that. Oh, you beauty. He's opening the sluices now. Because I serviced the engine, I'm bloody paranoid about everything, you know what I mean? It's running sweet as a nut, but I still get paranoid. Is it leaking? Oh, is the fuel thing there? Oh, does it come off? Oh, you know, all those things you go through. It's because I'm nervous, really. It's just an excuse. Thanks for looking after me, Steve.
Have a nice time on here, mate.
I think we're going up. Yeah, we're going up. There we are going up. Oh, so the Derwent's further down then. Alright. Must be a high tide, isn't it? It is high tide, that's right. Go back a bit. That's it. Old Steve, bless him, he's a good lad. Such a nice bloke. He's come down here. Steve, the lockie. Loves his locks, he loves his job, he loves looking after it. Fantastic. Oh, we're nearly there, look, we're going. There we go. There we are, we're off. Oh, into the big wide world. Oh, let's get you set up on here. again, mate.
Take care, we'll have a good journey.
Yeah, thank you. I'll see you again. A bit different to the Derwent, isn't it? Really, you want to go down with the tide, and then just as it's stopping, you want to go into the lock. That's how it works. Perfect for me, really. That would be, but I'm flying along here. Look at that. Must be doing about 6-7 knots, I'd have thought. See that? Beautiful. Yeah, I'm travelling, aren't I? I'm only going with the flow. Beautiful power station, pumping out all those clouds. Look. Oh, eh? Very big and very bloody. What's those birds? I bet that's lovely. They're like, see on the beaches, they get their beaks in the sand and they get their oysters. Is it oyster catchers? Mrs. Mindful will know. You watch Mrs. Mindful's vlogs, she'll know about everything about nature. She's brilliant. When you go around these corners, because it's on a flow, you sort of have to skid your way across, you know. You don't just turn, you sort of skid round the corner. The river's pushing you from behind, so you go right over, a lot further than what you think. Look at that lot, gone right over, a lot further than what I thought I was going to do. Now it's gone the other way. Oh, what's happening now? Come on. I went a bit funny then. Wow. That was really weird. I think I got into a slack bit from a really rough bit, you know. Oh, I tipped over then nearly. It's just saying there that it's Barlow Reach. It's 5 kilometres to Selby Town swing bridges. Request to call the swing bridge VHF channel 9. So that's why we got a. That's why I can't go to Goole. I need to get those radios. To get a radio, you need to get a certificate. And it's about 80 quid for the course. And you got to buy the radio, it just ends up being 150 quid, and then you can go round to Goole anyway, so I'm going to go round. When you spend that in diesel, wouldn't you? So, oh, dilemma, isn't it? Where's the course? I mean, that could be miles, I don't know. Working boats on this river. There's a swing bridge there. I suppose it's for big boats, isn't it, going up and down. I wonder if he sits in that tower all day. Can't do, surely. I'd just sitting there all day, you'd drive you mad, wouldn't it? It's a marvel of engineering, isn't it? How it swings on the pivots on that. Beautiful. What a piece of engineering. You've got support struts, look, that support the bridge. Wow. The river is still flowing at some serious pace. I've got to turn in that and go against it. Ooh, that's the scary bit. It's amazing, isn't it? The old and the new together. Isn't that fabulous? But they kept it that way to keep the history going, you know. Wow. Will that be there in the same amount of years? I doubt it. Another 100 years it'll all be gone probably. Just like us. Flats. I think you can see them there, that's where you turn. Yeah. Not turning now. on something. Not too bad. Not too bad. Back here again at Selby. Oh, hey. Not for long though, Ritz. We're off again. Put the rubbish in. I'd help him with there, look, bless him.